Good morning. How are you?
Hey, morning, Mike.
No, I'm not good. Not good at all. It's just I was screaming at the TV set yesterday. You dive into how it all went down, and you get down to two big at bats. One, the second baseman Stott comes up. He's facing Ryan Walker, and in his at bat, he gets 9 consecutive sinkers. 9. Now, Ryan Walker's a two-pitch guy. He's got a two-seam fastball and a slider. End of story. How does he get by with it? Well, a lot of deception in his delivery, and he's funky. And he's got big-time movement. And he can throw big-time velocity with his two-seamer. He can go anywhere from 94 to 98 miles per hour. All right, great. But what was upsetting was he threw 9 pitches that were the same pitch. So let's go back and review. What is hitting? Timing. What is pitching? It's upsetting the timing of the hitter. That's your goal. Your goal isn't to strike the guy out. Your goal is to take the sting out of his at bat, to take some of the strength out of his at bat. When you throw 9 pitches of the same to a big league hitter, he is going to have an excellent chance to barrel your ass. And that's exactly what happened. Stott hits a triple, and then he scores on a sac fly. Game over. That was really upsetting. They never even shook off another pitch. And then the other thing, too, was those pitches were called from the bench. You say, all right, well, it's a suggestion. Well, Bailey is an experienced catcher. He called 9 sinkers. And then afterwards, it was asked, and he just said, well, it's a good pitch, and I trust my pitchers. Let's go back to 21, when the Giants were playing the Dodgers in the greatest season ever between the Giants and the Dodgers, where the Giants won 107 games and the Dodgers won 106. Then they go in and they play each other in a playoff, which was nuts. But what cost him in that ball game was an at-bat that Cody Bellinger had against Camilo Doval. And in that at-bat, where there's a runner in scoring position, he threw 7 sliders. And on the 7th slider, Bellinger hits a base hit up the middle of the run score, and that was the difference in the game. After the game, I asked Gabe Kapler, why did you throw 7 sliders? Why did you not throw? This is a guy that throws 99. Why wouldn't you just mix one in? If not even throw it in the strike zone, just mix one in to cleanse the palate, to get him off of another speed, just to change the look. And he says because that was how the metrics felt was our best opportunity to get him out. So I'm sitting here watching the metrics go down again yesterday. And not just in the at-bat with Stott, but it happened in the nightcap when they go up there, and number one, they're facing Schwarber when they shouldn't have. Why? Well, because he had, he was 5 for 6 with 3 walks yesterday. He should never have been pitched to with an open base. But, okay, now you've got Keaton Wynn out there, a 3-pitch guy, a fastball, a slider, and a split. Well, what did he throw? He threw him 7 splits. The same speed. To a guy that's already got 5 hits on the day and he's been on base 7 or 4 hits on the day and he's been on base 7 out of 8 times, and then he gets a base hit. So to me, that is these are questions that have to be answered, and I don't think that they can be explained by the current philosophy, and I think that has to change. I just question the pitch selection. I think you have to pitch. You can't go out there and have some metric that tells you that you could throw this guy 7 pitches and it's going to be fine. You have to pitch. You have to use your other pitches. Even if you're not throwing him for a strike, knock his ass back, move his feet with the fastball, make him uncomfortable. Don't let him get up there and sit on one pitch. This is the big leagues. These are big league hitters. You can't do that. You throw 7 sliders, and I don't care who you are. You're going to throw 2 bastard sliders that are the nastiest things you could possibly throw. And then you're going to throw 3 that are pretty good. And then you're going to go 2 that stink. That's the reality of the pitch. You cannot throw 7 bastard sliders. You can't do it. And it's the same thing with a split. It's a pitch that you don't have the ability to consistently snap off 7 good ones. The best chance of being able to throw 7 good ones is with the fastball. Not a specialty pitch, especially not a split, especially not a slider. And as you go forward, again, it is something that they're going to have to really make some hardcore decisions as to how they suggest from the bench with pitches to throw. And I think you really need to have more of an accountability with the catcher and the pitcher, because the pitcher is throwing it, and it's going on his baseball card. And I just do not want to hear a guy say, "Well, they called it. I'm throwing it." That's a cop out. That is a total cop out. That call from the bench is a suggestion. And Bailey, who has, in my opinion, always been an excellent game caller, and that's one of his strengths. I mean, he needs to filter it a little bit more and exercise his ability to veto before he puts down a sign to the pitcher. And then the pitcher, you cannot sit there and simply say, "Well, they called it, I'm throwing it," because that is a cop out. You need to own up, like you're a big league pitcher. You should know that you can't throw one speed at somebody. You need to mix it up. And if you only have two pitches, start looking for another one. And this has long been a criticism of mine in regards to Walker. Walker has the ability, but he has to get off the one-speeded fastball. He needs to start throwing a four-seam fastball. It's a different pitch. I talked with Message, the Giants pitching coach, about that very thing the first week of the season. He said, "Yeah, we're working on the four-seam suggestion and a split-finger fastball," and he's progressing. He hadn't thrown one of them. Not since the first week of the season during the conversation. It's all been two-seam slider, and it's time to make changes.